You just bought entire outfits so you can come out to your family and fam, dress, heels, wig, breast forms, the works. No established figure want to do it, might as well go all the way. Be a first one to make them, come with you for support. Okay, hell yeah. I think when I came out to my parents, I came out to them before I even started presenting remotely feminine. Like, I came out to them like, yeah, I think I'm trans, by the way. I think I'm gonna start transitioning. That was basically, yeah, no. I was like, I'm trans, I'm gonna start transitioning. I'm excited for you. I hope it goes well. I hope it goes well. Were they supportive? Yes, they are supportive. However, my parents are still like, I think my parents are good, but they're also like, they're not like, you know, they need everything explained to them still. I don't know what their stereotype is, but it's like the, you know, you tell them something and they like don't quite get it until you kind of have to explain it to them, you know? Like, so I told my mom that I told my dad before I told my mom, because my dad has a very, like, my dad is, I don't know how to word it. He's very, he's shy and he's quiet, I guess. And he's also like my mom has anger issues, okay? My mom is a yeller and a screamer. She's a yeller, she screams, she yells, she has anger issues, you know? And my dad, don't get me wrong, my dad will get angry as well. It's just, it was the joke of like, I guess the joke was like, the mum was like, what, I don't know if it's a stereotype or anything, but like basically like, my mom's a screamer, if out of context, shut up. The thing was like, when my mom gets angry, it's like, it's just, you know, don't clip that. Do not clip. I'm telling you right now, don't fucking clip me calling my mom it. Don't. Okay. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna be so mad. Okay. My mom would, like, if my mom was mad, it was like a Tuesday. You know what I mean? It was just another day of the week. Like, she'd just come home from work and be screaming sometimes. And it was just to be expected, okay? Whereas when my dad got angry, it was like you knew you fucked up, basically. When he got angry, you knew you fucked up. Yeah. If it was my dad was mad, you know something's up. Yeah, exactly. But at least that was my perspective. At least that's how I thought about it. But I know my dad got angry at my brother a lot more than he got angry at me. Anyway, I didn't really have I guess I was nervous about it, but I was much more nervous about coming out to my mom than I was to my dad. Like, I was much more nervous about my mom, and for good reason, because like when I told my dad was like, can you do, like, he basically just asked me like, how do you know? Like, can you explain it to me? Like, what do you want me to do now? Like, should I start calling you my daughter or something? Like, does this mean you're a lesbian? He asked me. And I was like, I think I basically said to him, like, no, just whatever. Like, go at your own speed. Like, I'm not, at this point, I wasn't presenting. And also internally, when I started, this is just how I worked. When I came out as trans, I didn't come out as trans and, like, think of myself as a woman at the same time. For me, I came out as trans, and my basic thing was, I think I am a trans woman. I think I am trans, and I think that means that I have to transition, basically. You know? That was basically what I said. Like, that was essentially my thought process initially. Okay, it looks like I am trans. It looks like I have gender dysphoria. I guess I got I guess, not exactly I guess I got a transition, but like, I'm gonna start transitioning. But I'm not a woman. I'm just a person in the process right now. That's how I viewed myself. I'm not a woman. I'm just a person in the process right now. Anyway, so when I told my dad and stuff, I was like, yeah, like, I think a lot of stuff in my life makes sense a little bit. Yeah, my mom would, yeah. My mom would be someone where if I messed up, so I think I might have even told this example before, or I might have talked about this before, but like, with my mom, like, if I made like a mistake, her attitude would be like, get away, like, go away, leave me alone, let me fix it, you'll make it worse. If you stay here, you'll just make it fucking worse. That's what I remember my mom being like. Like, she'd be mad at me, but she also like wouldn't, if I made a mistake, she'd be mad at me, but she wouldn't let me fix the problem. She'd just be mad at me for for the problem, and she wouldn't let me fix them because and she, like, you know, it kind of made me feel a little helpless for a long time, actually. I felt very helpless as a person because anytime I had a problem, I didn't like have the skills to solve it. She's a little overprotective of me. A little overprotective, you know, but that's okay. When you folks have the mirror of mine, felt comfortable around your mom, but your dad has that kind of attitude. Yeah. I met both my parents are protective of me, for sure. It's actually, I think, now that I got a little older, I think they're both very, very protective of me, which is fine. It's not necessarily a bad thing. Why did I not tell them together? Because I told my dad on a whim, basically. We were watching TV together, I think, which I almost never do. I usually would just sit in my room, so it was rare that we just sit and watch TV together. And we were watching, I can't remember what we were watching, but watching TV or something, and Piers Morgan came on the television, okay? And this was when I had, but it was a couple months after I determined I was trans and stuff, you know? And I was out to quite a few people, like I was out to friends and stuff at this point. But Piers Morgan came on the TV and he started to talk about trans stuff on TV. Like the topic was like about trans stuff. And then my dad basically started a thought train on trans people. Like, he started a train of thought on trans people, essentially. And I didn't know what he was going to say, honestly. But all I know is that I don't even think he got that far into it. But as soon as he started his train of thought on trans people, I just said, hey, I'm going to stop you before you say anything, because I want to tell you that I've thought about it a lot, and I am trans. I didn't let him say anything because I didn't want him to say something that made me fear to come out or whatever. And I didn't want him to say anything that he would regret either, I guess. So I just was like, hey, before you say anything about trans people, I just want to tell you that I've been thinking about it for a long time and I think I'm trans. And I told him when he was alone, because there was no way I was going to be able to do that with both of them there. My mom was difficult. After I told my dad, I told my dad to tell my mom, but what I told him to do was I told him to tell her, but to tell her that the reason I didn't want to talk to her immediately was because I was just really tired and worn out, like, from telling my dad first. Like, I basically said, like, said to my dad, like, tell my mom that I am trans, but that I want to talk about it with her in more detail. It's just that I kind of came out on a whim to my dad, and I don't really have the mental energy to, like, have another big conversation about it for, like, a couple more days, but I didn't want you to. So, in a way, I made it, this is cool. I didn't really think of it like this at the time, but essentially what I did was I essentially got to, because I don't think I could have been the person to tell my mom first. So I got my dad to tell my mom first for me, but making it seem like, you know, I was going to tell her myself, I guess, without making it seem, you know? You think the first person you told was Draft Gwen? Oh, that's so cute. I love that. I told a friend first in I think it was like October or something of even before October. I don't remember when it was exactly. October or something, or September-ish of 2020, I think was the first person, when I told the first person. I've been going as non-binary for a while. In fact, my brother, I remember, told me, like, he suspected it, because for like a couple of Halloweens and stuff, I've been telling, like, unironically, for a couple of Halloweens, I was like, for like this Halloween, I kind of want to go as a girl, but I don't want to, like, I remember telling him, like, I wanted to go as a girl, but I didn't want to, like, do like a dumb costume where like the joke was that I was a girl. I just wanted to, like, literally, like, I just literally wanted to be like, I didn't want to do like a you know what I mean? You know, like when guys go as girls for Halloween, you know what I mean, right? Like where they wear like you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Like the stupid fake wigs and stuff, and like, you know, the joke is that they're a dude dressed as a girl. That's the joke, you know? I was like, I want to go as, but I don't want to do like that. Yeah, like frat guys, you know? I just wanted to like, you know, wear like I was like, damn, I want to, you know? Anyway, so my brother, when I told my brother, he was like, yeah, I kind of figured, you know? I kind of suspected it for a while, but I didn't want to say anything. I didn't do it either. I never did it, but I thought I wanted to, but I never did it. Is it better or worse when people say they knew? I don't mind, because the thing is, like, someone who knows can tell you that they know, like, what they think, and it can help or hurt you. It doesn't necessarily help you for someone, like, if my brother 2 years before I knew I was trans told me that he thought I was trans, like, I don't know if that would have made me transition sooner or even later, possibly. Like, you just don't know, you know? Everyone has to go at their own speed, I guess. I'm not like mad or anything that my brother never told me sooner, you know, like nothing like that whatsoever. For me, you feel like if family said, you think I would have felt safe to do it sooner? I think for me, if I had have known sooner is how I feel, you know? Like, that's just how I feel. I just wish I knew sooner, you know? Because, like, I think I've talked about this quite a few times, but, like, I just didn't know, you know? Ultimately. Like, I had things that I thought about a lot, but I never knew, like, I just never knew it meant I was, or, you know what I mean? I just never knew I was trans. So, I don't think there's, like, things people could have said to me, really. If I had just had the general knowledge of, like, what it is to be trans sooner, that would have helped. Because I know people say it's, what's the joke conservatives say? The social contagion thing. But, like, if I didn't get, like, a little bit of, like, knowledge of trans people, I would have just, like, felt really weird in my body for just so much longer, you know? You knew for years but didn't say much to anyone? I'm sorry. That's frustrating. That's frustrating in a completely unique way, I think. I actually, funnily enough, I never liked shape-shifting stuff. I don't know. I still don't like shape-shifting stuff. Like, not to discuss, like, porn habits or anything. Well, I say not to, but I'm going to. But, like, if you ever read, you know, if you ever read hentai or anything like that, hypothetically, okay? Not that I've ever done that, but hypothetically if I had, what's it, like, gender swap stuff, you know? It doesn't really, I don't like it as a thing. Like, I don't like the gender swap, like, category. Like, I don't find the, oh my god, I'm a guy and I got turned into a girl type, like, stories as, like, hot. I don't find that hot. It doesn't turn me on, you know? Like, oh, I'm a girl, you know, I've become a girl now. It doesn't, like, I don't know. I don't find that, like, hot or anything. I never find that hot. I don't know why. It just doesn't get me, I guess. You know? And you meant, like, I know you meant superheroes, but I was just talking, so...